Up next, common ways to defend against crypto attacks.
You're watching IT Pro TV.
Hello and welcome to IT Pro TV. This is CEH. I'm your host, Kathy Chambers, alongside Daniel Lowry. Welcome to the show.
I put on my
This is
kung fu stance because
CEH the musical.
yeah, that would be interesting.
All of a sudden, we start losing members.
Crypto defenses, there are many to see. Yeah.
So, good point. That's what we're chatting about.
Yes.
Crypto Attack Countermeasures.
Yes.
Yeah, what are we going to learn?
Hey, we're not left without a witness when it comes to trying to keep ourselves safe. There's some things we can employ and do to. What's funny is we're talking about cryptographic systems. What are cryptographic systems meant to do? They are meant to keep us safe. They are what we do to stop people from doing bad things to us. But even they have their own weaknesses. So we have to figure out how to defend those systems as well. It's almost like Inception, right? Where you've got, I'm trying to defend this with this, but I got to defend that as well with this. What about those things? It's like, it's this, like looking in the mirror at the barbershop, or you got just goes off into infinity. Crazy, right? But that's the idea today. We just got a list of things that we can do to try to help keep our cryptographic systems safe so that when we use them, we are safe. That's what it's all about.
All right, yeah. So get a pencil ready, or maybe your keyboard ready. We're going to have our list.
We've done this before.
First on the list many times. First on the list, secure key sharing.
Secure key sharing. So yes, this is just hey, when you've got those keys, especially when they're called private keys, those are the things that you want to keep, stick with me here, private, right? So, but there are times when I do have to share that stuff out, especially if you had something like a symmetric key, right? If Kathy needs to encrypt and decrypt things that are associated with that key, she's going to need a copy of it. What do? Well, we securely share that out. I just go, hey, I put it up on my website. No one knows where that is. It's an Angel Fire. You'll love it. It's what was the GeoCities from the 90s, right? I've got a GeoCities site still out there. I slapped that up on a page. No one knows. No one cares. I slapped it in Pastebin. Don't do that. That's insecure. Don't use plain text protocols to transfer these things. You want to get to as close to guards with guns as you can get to make sure that went from the person, and then verify the person got it that says they're supposed to get it. So certified couriers, that kind of thing, people with guns around them, as close to that as you can possibly get, or the most secure electronic transfer systems as you can think of. That's what we mean. Secure key sharing.
All right, and another thing that we can do is use higher bit length hashing and symmetric key algorithms.
Absolutely. And because the smaller those bit lengths are, the weaker those systems are, right? Remember, if the bit length is only so long, you're going to start having repeats, right? It's going to start having to reuse stuff that it's already done, or it's going to come around to something that's already done. So the higher the bit length, the more robust the security. And this applies to hashing algorithms, symmetric algorithms, and asymmetric algorithms as well. So make sure that you use as high of a bit length as your system will support, because the more robust that bit length is, the more robust your security is. So it's an easy way to win that fight.
Okay, and then we can also use encryption, and you put on here with a proven track record of security. So not just any encryption.
So here's what ends up happening. There are some smart people out there, and they go, I got to implement some security into this. I'll just roll my own. And they'll create some janky crypto system that seems to be fine. And maybe it is, but it doesn't have a proven track record. And somebody that discovers the inner workings of it might go, I think I know what they're doing here. And then we go, oh, I did know what they were doing here. You weren't the first person to have that idea. And, that's really how crypto systems get broken, is somebody knows as much about it as somebody else that created it. And they start working on it and going, where are the weaknesses? What's going on? Where do I see reuse? Where do I see weak? And now I'm going to start to see if I can exploit that, right? So that's what ends up happening. If you start making your own, plus it doesn't work with anything else. It's got to work within that. Otherwise, they have to adopt your crazy standard that you devised yourself. Go with something that we know has a track record proven to be secure. Don't think that you can do it better. Maybe you can, but that you don't know. You would have to run it through those proper tests, and that would take time and effort. So just go with something off the shelf that you know has a proven track record of being of strength against attack.
All right. Next on our list, don't hard code keys into source code or compiled into binary.
I know it seems like the right thing to do at the time, doesn't it? You take the thing and you just, I'll put it in the source code. Well, guess what? People they reverse engineer stuff and they go, what's this? This right here. Is that an encryption key? You wily dog, you almost hid it from me. You almost had it, right? So if anybody gets access to your source code, they're gonna have access to your keys. And if you've compiled it into a binary, anybody that's good at reverse engineering and getting down into like assembly code that language, that base level language, they'll figure out what's going on and go, that looks like an encryption key. And now they have it. So it's basically like going, I'm going to encrypt some stuff, but it goes back to that secure key sharing. If they need a key, it needs to be outsourced to something like a TPM or some other method of utilization and not put in the binary itself. It has to be able to be kept secure. Putting it into the software does not necessarily make it secure. So just understand that you're putting it at a risk. Not necessarily going to happen, but it could happen. You got to be aware of that. And not doing that doesn't put it at risk. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does.
All right, and this next one you should know, but just in case you need a friendly reminder. Encrypt your keys with passwords or passphrases.
Absolutely, right? I think we actually saw that when I was creating keys with Cleopatra or something. I said, hey, do you want to add a password to this? Heck yeah, I do. That way, if anybody does gain access to your crypto, your key rings or whatever, they would have to know the password to still get at them. Just because you have access to the system doesn't mean you have access to the keys at that point if you have password protected them. So it's another hoop you got to jump through. Again, a lot of times security just comes down to putting up enough obstacles to make people throw their hands up in the air and go, forget it. I'm going to go after Billy's systems because he's always junky at making things safe. I know he'll make a mistake. They just move on down the road. They'd have to really be intent on gaining access to your stuff if they continue on. And of course, that's going to generate more noise, and the length and time it's going to take for them to get at that will increase, and therefore increase the likelihood that they'll get caught. So that's what it's all about. It's not that we can keep anything perfectly secure. It's that we do a bunch of stuff to make it more likely that it will be secure.
All right. And we can also use IDS to monitor those key exchanges.
Absolutely, right? That's another great idea that, are you starting to see patterns here with these defenses? Hopefully you are, right? This is not anything new that we haven't seen before, right? You have an IDS system. It's looking at any kind of traffic or activity or signature-based thing that is occurring. And if it matches a signature of, hey, these are known crypto attacks. Nope. I'm going to alert somebody, raises the red flag, and then somebody runs over and goes, what's going on? Oh, no, that's not good. And put the kibosh on it. And you can protect yourself through at least detection and early warning.
All right. And last on our countermeasures list is implement key stretching.
Key stretching, interesting idea here, where you take one key that is short by nature and you stretch it out and make it longer, right? That's the basic idea of key stretching. I mean, it's kind of built into the definition. A couple of algorithms that use this is the PBKDF2. I'm never going to remember that one, so I wrote it down. It is the password-based key derivation function DOS, right? And bcrypt. Bcrypt uses this. It's a compression algorithm, is a crypto system that's widely used. So use it, enjoy it. It does key stretching to make those keys longer, stronger, more robust, right? They are the $6 million keys at that point. We have the technology. We can make them faster, stronger, better, right? That's the basic idea of what's going on with key stretching. If you can employ something that does that or build a system that does it for you, well, there you go. You can do it.
All right, great. So there you have it. I think we named at least 7 common ways to defend against crypto attacks.
Hopefully that's enough.
Yeah, Daniel's been nice enough to put those in the notes for you, so you can go back and review those. More CH is coming your way here on IT Pro TV.
Thank you for watching IT Pro TV.